Well everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Gingium, not Gingium, not Gigium, not Gingium. Anyway, today is a great day because, well, with the incredible help from you guys on Patreon and the awesome support of an awesome company, we have a bunch of new performance upgrades for the Adventure Bus. I'm talking big turbo with billet internals. I'm talking a new camshaft, new intake manifold, a new tuner, lifters, injectors, everything. This bus is going to be a monster. So in this video, I'm going to show you all the parts that we got, talk about why they're awesome and how they're gonna help the bus. And then at the end of the video, we are going to POR the inside frame and make sure the bus survives these next couple of years against the elements. Because after spending all this money on this bus, I certainly don't want rust to be the reason it gets destroyed. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the most exciting thing, and that is, of course, the new turbo. After the last video, I went ahead and contacted some companies that made performance turbos for Power Strokes. I got in touch with an awesome company, KC Turbos, who makes some really incredible and badass turbos for Ford. In the last video, I talked about how I wanted to go stage 2 turbo, 175cc injectors, and make like 600 horsepower. After talking to the guys at KC Turbos, they convinced me to be a little bit smarter. The bus is a tow rig. No matter how much power we put into it, it still won't be the fastest thing in the world. With 600 horsepower, it would still be pretty quick, but weighing 10,000 pounds, it's not going to win any drag races at the drag strip or anything. A stage 2 turbo would be amazing on the top end of the power band, but it would be so big that the bottom end would be maybe a little bit laggy. So we got a stage 1 KC turbo. Let me go ahead and read you the specs here, all right? 61 millimeter turbocharger. It's got a 61 by 88 GTX style compressor wheel, 73 by 64 10 bladed turbine wheel, specifically designed to make cool whistling and turbo noises, an upgraded 360-degree thrust bearing, a new VGT solenoid. So a couple of you guys were asking in the last video, this turbo is a variable geometry turbo. A VGT turbo has these little flaps on the inside of the actual exhaust housing. The ECU can open and close those flaps based on the RPM of the engine to help with spool. It's really, really cool, and this turbo does indeed have that. The description on KC Turbo's website for this turbo is as follows. This turbo is meant for the guys who tow heavy, want quick spool, more power, but don't want the extra lag associated with 1.5 and stage 2 turbos. The cool thing is that even though this is a smaller turbocharger, it can make up to 500 horsepower. So we're still gonna be making a bunch of boost and a bunch of power with this turbo, and it's gonna be spooling really quick, making incredible noises, and making more power. I'm really excited to be able to push the gas pedal and actually accelerate on the highway. That wasn't a thing previously with the stock turbo and the stock engine setup. But the even cooler thing is that we have more. So after last video, Truckworks disassembled the motor a little bit more. They took the pistons out, they took the crank out, and they discovered that the cam had fried itself. So when the 6.0 lost oil pressure, not only did it ruin a crank bearing, it also ruined a cam bearing and the cam itself. So we discovered that we had to get a new cam. Instead of spending a bunch of money on a stock cam, I went ahead and got a Colt cam from KC Turbos. This cam is designed to take advantage of the lost opportunities the factory cam didn't seize. Sounds like a Ford thing. Smoother idle, quicker spool up, lower EGTs, better torque, horsepower, and slightly improved fuel economy. Blah, 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 blah. So it's literally win, 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 win. Now, a Power Stroke, it's not quite like a small black Chevy, like an LS. When you put a cam in it, it doesn't like suddenly make it this insane thing, but it will help a little bit. Not gonna make a huge difference, but it's gonna definitely help. This cam also came with new lifters, so we had to get new lifters anyway because, you know, the one had exploded itself. That's actually what caused this entire catastrophe, is one of the lifters exploding itself. The final thing that they say about the stage 1 cam is that this cam delivers almost everything a work truck or tow vehicle could ask for. So literally perfect for the bus. The next big modification that we got for the Adventure Bus is a new intake manifold. Now I had no idea, but the stock intake manifold on the 6-liter Power Stroke is actually pretty trash. So we got an O-Dogs Stage 3 intake manifold. So this intake manifold will increase spool, it will cool down EGTs, and give you more horsepower and more torque. They dyno tested it, and just with the intake manifold, got 27 horsepower and 83 pound-feet of torque. So that combined with the cam and combined with the turbo, this is gonna be the dream setup for a 6-liter Power Stroke. Dream tow setup. Now, in order to provide enough fuel for all these awesome modifications, we did get some Warren diesel injectors. Originally, we were going to go with a pretty big 175cc injector, but instead we're doing a 155cc injector, which is just a little bit bigger than stock. Those injectors will idle a little bit better. They won't compromise fuel economy at all, and they'll still provide plenty of fuel for 500 horsepower. So if you go with too big of an injector on a diesel, it will hurt fuel economy, and it'll actually cause the car to smoke, or the truck to smoke a little bit, just because there's so much fuel going in. Will we be able to roll coal with those injectors? I don't know. We'll find out, but I think so. And those are all the big aftermarket parts that we're putting on this bus. Bigger turbo, upgraded cam, upgraded intake manifold, and bigger injectors. I have two main people to thank for this. Number one, KC Turbos, obviously, they helped provide all these parts for this build. But secondly, and just as importantly, you guys, all of you guys that supported me on Patreon are so awesome. Let me just tell you that none of these parts would have happened without you guys. So thank you so much. If you are interested in any of these parts for your own truck, or if you're interested in checking out some of the other parts that KC Turbos have, check the description down below. If you want to help support the channel yourself, you can go to Patreon too and become a patron. Now, for the second part of this video. Like I said, the bus is a little rusty, and we want to be able to drive the bus for the next 10, 15, 20 years, especially after all this money that we're throwing at it. In order to drive it for that long, we have to make sure Mother Nature doesn't destroy it. So, now that the engine is out and we have access to the frame, we're gonna go ahead and POR the entire thing. POR is an awesome coating that you can put straight over rust, and it will seal it out, and it'll make it so no rust ever comes back. And it actually worked. For now, in this video, I'm just doing the front of the frame, but after we get the bus back, we are gonna do the entire frame and all of the rusty stuff on there. The hitch, the rear bumper. As I said, we want this bus to last, so we have to protect it from Mother Nature. We're really not going to drive it much in the winter because that will, get salt all over it and just make it rust more. But even just sitting outside behind the shop, it will get rustier and it will kind of get destroyed by the elements if we don't protect it. But yeah, let's go over the truck works and start PORing the frame. That turned out really, really awesome. I'm really surprised at how good that really looks. I'm now very excited to do the entire frame. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. We didn't get a bunch of progress done, but you guys did get to see all the new parts. I feel like I'm talking really poorly right now. I can't really think straight, so I'm just gonna go. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Subscribe, support the pit. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Whoa. I didn't get enough sleep, or maybe I need more caffeine, or maybe I need less caffeine. It's probably that.